to carry me. Turn about is fair play, my boy. The boat carried you to this shore because you can't swim, and now you must carry me up the hill because I can't climb. Eh, Bilbil, isn't that reasonable?" "Well, well, well," said the goat surlily. "Keep quiet and I'll carry you. But you make me very tired, Rinkitink, with your ceaseless chatter." After making this protest, Bilbil began walking up the hill, carrying the fat king upon his back with no difficulty whatever. Prince Inga and his father and all the men of Pingaree were much astonished to overhear this dispute between King Rinkitink and his goat, but they were too polite to make critical remarks in the presence of their guests. King Kitticut walked beside the goat, and the prince followed after, the men coming last with the boxes of sandalwood. When they neared the palace, the queen and her maidens came out to meet them, and the royal guest was escorted in state to the splendid throne room of the palace. Here the boxes were opened, and King Rinkitink displayed all the beautiful silks and laces and jewelry with which they were filled. Every one of the courtiers and ladies received a handsome present, and the king and queen had many rich gifts, and Inga not a few. Thus the time passed pleasantly until the chamberlain announced that dinner was served. Bilbil the goat declared that he preferred eating of the sweet, rich grass that grew abundantly in the palace grounds, and Rinkitink said that the beast could never bear being shut up in a stable, so they removed the saddle from his back and allowed him to wander wherever he pleased. During the dinner, Inga divided his attention between admiring the pretty gifts he had received and listening to the jolly sayings of the fat king, who laughed when he was not eating and ate when he was not laughing, and seemed to enjoy himself immensely. "For 4 days I have lived in that narrow boat," said he, "with no other amusement than to watch the rowers and quarrel with Bilbil, so I am very glad to be on land again with such friendly and agreeable people." "You do us great honor," said King Kitticut with a polite bow. Not at all, my brother. This Pingaree must be a wonderful island, for its pearls are the admiration of all the world. Nor will I deny the fact that my kingdom would be a poor one without the riches and glory it derives from the trade in your pearls. So I have wished for many years to come here to see you, but my people said, 'No, stay at home and behave yourself, or we'll know the reason why.'" "Will they not miss your majesty from your palace at Gilgad?" inquired Kitticut. "I think not," answered Rinkitink. "You see, one of my clever subjects has written a parchment entitled 'How to be Good,' and I believed it would benefit me to study it, as I consider the accomplishment of being good one of the fine arts. I had just scolded severely my Lord High Chancellor for coming to breakfast without combing his eyebrows, and was so sad and regretful at having hurt the poor man's feelings that I decided to shut myself up in my own room and study the scroll until I knew how to be good. To be good. Clever idea that, wasn't it? Mighty clever. And I issued a decree that no one should enter my room under pain of my royal displeasure until I was ready to come out. They're awfully afraid of my royal displeasure, although not a bit afraid of me. Then I put the parchment in my pocket and escaped through the back door to my boat. And here I am. Woo-hoo-hoo! Hee! Imagine the fuss there would be in Gilgad if my subjects knew where I am this very minute." "I would like to see that parchment," said the solemn-eyed Prince Inga, "for if it indeed teaches one to be good, it must be worth its weight in pearls." "Oh, it's a fine essay," said Rinkitink, "and beautifully written with a goose quill. Listen to this. You'll enjoy it. Tee-hee-hee! Enjoy it." He took from his pocket a scroll of parchment tied with a black ribbon, and having carefully unrolled it, he proceeded to read as follows: "A good man is one who is never bad." How's that, eh? Fine thought, what? "Therefore, in order to be good, you must avoid those things which are evil." Oh, hoo! How clever! When I get back, I shall make the man who wrote that a royal hippolorum, for, beyond question, he is the wisest man in my kingdom, as he has often told me himself. With this, Rinkitink lay back in his chair and chuckled his queer chuckle until he coughed, and coughed until he choked and choked until he sneezed, and he wrinkled his face in such a jolly, droll way that few could keep from laughing with him, and even the good queen was forced to titter behind her fan. When Rinkitink had recovered from his fit of laughter and had wiped his eyes upon a fine lace handkerchief, Prince Inga said to him, "The parchment speaks truly." "Yes, it is true beyond doubt," answered Rinkitink. "And if I could persuade Bilbil to read it, he would be a much better goat than he is now. Here is another selection: 'To avoid saying unpleasant things, always speak agreeably.' That would hit Bilbil to a dot. And here is one that applies to you, my prince: 'Good children are seldom punished for the reason that they deserve no punishment.' Now, I think that is neatly put, and shows the author to be a deep thinker. But the advice that has impressed me the most is in the following paragraph: 'You may not find it as pleasant to be good as it is to be bad, but other people will find it more pleasant.'" "Ha hoo hoo! Other people will find it more pleasant. Hee hee! Hee hee! More pleasant! Dear me, dear me! Therein lies a noble incentive to be good, and whenever I get time I'm surely going to try it." Then he wiped his eyes again with the lace handkerchief, and suddenly remembering his dinner, seized his knife and fork and began eating. End of chapter 2.